Hello and welcome to my video all about how to sew the back stitch by hand. I've already done a video about the running stitch, which is the stitch that you can see on my fabric sample here, and the back stitch is almost as simple as that stitch, but is stronger and tighter. So it's usually the one I use if I'm sewing two fabrics together. To begin, you need to cut a piece of sewing thread, tie a knot in one end, and feed the other end through a hand sewing needle. You then take the needle from back to front through the fabric. You then start stitching exactly as you would if you were doing a running stitch. So you move a certain distance to the left and go through the fabric from front to back. The length of the stitch is normally about 1/4 inch. And then you move the same distance again to the left and come through the fabric from back to front. Every time you move the needle either to the left or to the right, you move it the same distance each time, and this means that your stitches will all be an equal length, and that will make it look a lot neater. So far it's exactly the same as running stitch, but this is where it starts to get different. This time you go to the right and go through the fabric from front to back where the last stitch finished. The way I think about the back stitch is that you're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. So you move 2 stitch lengths to the left and then 1 stitch length to the right. And you just keep repeating those 2 steps. So you go to the left by 2 stitch lengths and come through the fabric from back to front, then go 1 stitch length to the right and go through the fabric from front to back. And you repeat this all the way across. To save a little bit of time and effort, you can take the needle in and out of the fabric at the same time, as shown here. This means you don't have to go into the fabric and out of the fabric individually quite so many times. It's completely up to you what method you're comfortable with. As you can see, the result is a nice, neat, straight line. When you want to finish sewing, make sure you end with the needle at the back of the fabric. To secure the thread, I like to take my needle under the stitches at the back of the fabric, pull the thread until there's just a small loop remaining, take the needle through the loop and tighten. And then I repeat that again. I go under the thread at the back of the fabric, pull the thread until there's just a small loop remaining, take the needle through the loop and tighten. And this secures the end of the thread. And that's it, that's how you do the back stitch. I really hope this has been useful and thank you very much for watching.